How's it going, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maddison Hill, and yes, it's time for another Pop Off with Maddison. For today's Pop Off, I'm going to be talking about Demi Lovato, and I know it has been a very long minute since we've discussed Demi Lovato on this channel, but you guys, there is so much Demi tea that we need to get into. So first up, as I'm sure some of you may or may not already know, Demi Lovato is getting ready to release her new album on Friday, and on this new album contains a pretty scathing song about her ex, Wilmer Valderrama, or shall I say, fans believe this scathing song is about her ex, Wilmer Valderrama. Clearly, you can probably already tell where I stand when it comes to who I think the song is about, but in a new interview, Demi Lovato talked about this song and talked about how this is her telling her truth. But moral of the story, you guys, this song definitely does not paint Wilmer Valderrama in the best light at all. On top of that, you guys, Demi Lovato also reportedly has a new man in her life. They were seen hand in hand in New York, so I'm gonna let you guys know who this guy is, how their relationship is going, all of that good stuff. I'm telling you, it's just a lot of good Demi Lovato tea, and I actually have so many thoughts about all of this, and I can't wait to get into it with you guys, so let's not waste any more time and get straight to unwrapping these Demi Lovato facts. Okay, so as I briefly mentioned, Demi Lovato is getting ready to release her new studio album on Friday. The album is titled Holy F. Of course, it's edited on the album cover. And with this new album, Demi Lovato is definitely going back and channeling her punk roots, which I know a lot of her fans are super excited about. Now, in a recent interview with Apple Music's Zane Lowe, Demi Lovato talked about the album in its entirety, saying that everything she writes about comes from, quote, personal experiences. And she also recognized that she went through a rough time last year. Demi went on to say, quote, "And I went back to treatment, and when I came out, I had all of this unresolved trauma that I hadn't dealt with or that I started to deal with in treatment. And then when I came out, I was like, it's okay to be angry and feel those things." Demi then continued on saying that when she first started working on the album, the first week especially, she really had a lot of anger that she was working through. And she said that this anger is very evident in her songs Freak, Heaven, and Eat Me. But then at one point while she was making the albums, her feelings shifted and she began writing songs, quote, that were really empowered in my sexuality. Now, somewhere in between channeling that anger into new music and writing songs about her sexuality, that's where I think Demi Lovato's song 29 came into play. And yes, this is a song that is allegedly, but in my opinion, very obviously about Demi Lovato's ex, Wilmer Valderrama. And I say that because in the song, Demi sings lyrics that say, quote, "Too young to drink wine, just 5 years a bleeder, student and a teacher, far from innocent, what the consent, numbers told you not to, but that didn't stop you." Then in the chorus, Demi sings about 17, which was the age she was when she met Wilmer Valderrama, and 29, which is the age that he was when they met. Remember, the two met back in 2010 when they were doing a PSA for the census. I do want to make it clear that the two didn't start dating until Demi Lovato was 18, and they dated for several years before breaking up in 2016. Now, prior to this song, you guys, Demi Lovato has only spoke positively about her relationship. If you remember in her 2017 documentary, Simply Complicated, Demi described Wilmer as being her rock during their relationship and during that time. And then even after her nearly fatal overdose in 2018, that was absolutely terrible, Wilmer was seen visiting Demi Lovato in the hospital a couple of times. But somewhere in between that and Wilmer Valderrama dating his now fiance Amanda Pacheco, the two clearly lost touch. If you remember when Wilmer proposed to Amanda back in 2020, Demi was asked about her feelings about this proposal while speaking to Harper's Bazaar. And during this interview, Demi said that she wished him nothing but the best, and she also clarified that they're not in each other's lives anymore and that they hadn't spoken in a long time. And now, after listening to Demi's new single 29, it is very freaking crystal clear that she no longer fondly looks back on her relationship. And while speaking about this song specifically during her interview with Zane Lowe, Demi said that she remembers being on vacation, turning 29, and how that really just put things into perspective for her. Demi said, quote, "I don't have to say too much, to be honest, but turning 29 was a huge eye-opener for me. And then going into treatment and having realizations led to my transformation, my release of the emotion that was put into the song." Demi continued saying, quote, "I would be lying if I said I didn't have a ton of anxiety about putting this song out. I just said, I have to go for this. I have to own my truth. I do still walk that line very finely. I've learned that sometimes saying less is more, and it's taken me to 30 years old to maybe learn that. But here I am approaching the way that I express myself differently in front of the media because it's okay to have boundaries." days. Now back to talking about Demi's album as a whole. Like I said, she started off the album angry, then she kind of went into this phase by writing about her sexuality, and then she said in a turn of events at the end of the album she started writing love songs, which obviously now we know that makes complete sense because we're hearing that Demi Lovato has a new man in her life. So this new man in Demi's life is named Jordan Lutz, aka Jutes. That's his stage name. He's a musician, he's from Canada, and he did collaborate with Demi on this new album. The two were recently seen leaving a New York restaurant hand in hand. Demi's smiling, they look happy, and we're hearing that this new relationship is starting off super positively. A source spoke to People magazine and said, quote, "It's a really happy and healthy relationship. He's a super great guy." So that is a major positive. We all know that Demi Lovato's last major public relationship was when she was engaged to Max Ehrick. That was a complete disaster, mainly because Max Ehrick ended up being a major freaking clout chaser. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about or you want a little refresher, go back and look at some old pop-offs because I definitely covered Max and Demi's relationship in its entirety. I even covered all of the relationship fallout in its entirety too. Yes, I'm talking about Max calling the paparazzi so they could film him crying on the beach where he proposed to Demi Lovato. I'm just telling you, this guy was a complete freaking mess. I'm gonna go ahead and stop myself though because I want to fill you guys in on my thoughts about this current Demi T, her current new man, her new album, that song about Wilmer. So we're gonna go ahead and make this pop off official, and because we're gonna show some respect to Demi Lovato, we're going to pop off with a different kind of bubbly once again. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, now that was a lot of information, so I'm gonna try to keep my thoughts quick and concise for you. I think she is in a super great place right now. She looks happy, she looks healthy. I'm excited that she's releasing new music. I'm excited that she's going back to her punk roots. I really feel like she is in a good place. I also love that her album is going to kind of show this evolution of healing, how she started out angry, then kind of discovering new things about herself, and then it ends with these love songs. I'm excited to hear it. Now let's specifically talk about that song 29. Before this song, full disclosure, you guys, I absolutely loved Demi and Wilmer together. While yes, their age difference was concerning, definitely not gonna beat around the bush. That was a concerning situation. But I always felt that despite their age difference, they were really good together. And to be completely honest with you guys, this might be a little embarrassing to admit, before he proposed to Amanda Pacheco, I kind of thought that Demi and Wilmer would still end up together. And in my defense, that used to not be a totally way off base way to think, considering the way she used to speak about Wilmer during interviews. She used to only have very positive things to say about him and their time together. Obviously now my perspective has completely changed. It's in a complete 180 after hearing this song 29. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, now I kind of feel super ick about their relationship, and I feel super ick about myself and the fact that I ever even thought that they should get back together and be together forever. So I am just feeling ick about the entire thing. You know, after hearing this song and after hearing Demi Lovato talk about the song during this interview with Zane Lowe and how she really kind of processed things when she turned 30, it definitely was not the greatest relationship by any means. And I would be very curious to know how Wilmer feels after hearing that song, because when I heard that song, it literally stopped me in my tracks. I had to listen to it multiple times because I'm telling you, it really changed my perspective on Demi and Wilmer. They were a couple that I really liked. And as far as this new relationship with Jutes, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm cautiously optimistic. And the reason I'm saying that is because I read an interview that Jutes did with Nuance Magazine last year, and in this interview he talks about how he just left Capitol Records and he wants to try his music career going at it alone, and he also talked about how he has these acting aspirations. So because of Demi's past with Max Ehrick, of course I'm reading those things and I'm like, oh, little red flag, because of course part of me is thinking this guy sees Demi Lovato and a relationship with Demi Lovato as a step up in his career. Obviously for Demi's sake, I'm hoping that that's not the case and this guy is legit and he's genuine and he's authentic. Of course that's what I'm hoping. I just gotta be honest with you guys that I am a little skeptical. However, something positive I do want to mention, I do like how a source spoke to People Magazine and said that they're in a happy, healthy relationship and that he's a good guy. Nobody from Demi's circle ever had anything positive to say about Max Ehrick in the press. So this is giving me hope. This is giving me hope that Jutes is definitely different and that he is a good person and that he is good for Demi. But I am still a little cautiously optimistic. I think we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. And obviously when anything major happens, I'll be sitting right here to fill you in about it. All right, you you guys, that's the latest I have for you on Demi Lovato, her new album, her song about Wilmer, and of course her new man. I want to hear all of your thoughts and feels down below. While you guys are at it, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't forget that notification bell. For more content, make sure you guys follow me over on Instagram and TikTok. And of course, don't forget to keep coming back to my channel to check out my YouTube shorts. Also, if you guys want to show me a little extra love or you just want to make sure I see your comment, don't forget you can also click on that super thanks button down below. You guys can also check out all of my merch at my merch store at houseofphil.com. And on that note, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.